Dear child, something sacred and almost unbelievable has just unfolded in the unseen. It happened quietly, in a room you were not in, but your presence filled it nonetheless. Behind closed doors, a father, a man of wisdom, authority, and guarded heart, was handed your photograph for the very first time. He wasn't seeking it, nor did he expect to see your face that day. Yet when his eyes met yours in that simple image, the atmosphere changed. A deep stillness filled the room, as though time itself paused to listen. In that silence, he spoke words that no one anticipated, words that carried weight, emotion, and a strange, undeniable truth that left everyone around him stunned. The angels watched this moment with great tenderness because they knew it was not random. Heaven had orchestrated it. This man did not simply see your face. He felt your spirit. What stirred in him was not just admiration, but recognition. He saw something sacred within you, something pure and strong, something that reached beyond human understanding. In your eyes, he saw purpose. In your energy, he felt peace. In your light, he sensed the hand of the divine. The angels say that when a soul of authority, especially one representing fatherly wisdom and protection, reacts in such a way, it is never by chance. It is heaven's way of confirming that your essence has meaning and divine placement in someone's journey. That father's spontaneous reaction was not merely emotional. It was spiritual. His words echoed truths that had been hidden, truths the universe had been whispering for some time, but which no one dared to speak aloud. Until now, you may not have heard what was said, dear child, but heaven did. The angels heard. The vibration of those words traveled beyond the walls of that room, rippling through the unseen world and awakening energies that had been dormant. It was as if his voice became a bridge between what has been silent on earth and what heaven has long been waiting to reveal. His reaction carried a divine signal, a permission for truth to rise, for light to enter spaces that have been clouded by doubt or denial. This moment was a divine appointment. The Father did not just see your photo. He experienced your soul through it. Something in him, perhaps unknowingly, recognized you. Maybe he felt protective of you. Maybe he felt inspired or deeply moved. Or perhaps, in that instant, he realized something about his own child, something unspoken, hidden behind fear, confusion, or pride. Perhaps he saw that you hold a sacred place in someone's heart, a place that even they could not admit before. The angels say heaven allowed that conversation because divine timing has arrived. For too long, you have carried silent questions. You have wondered why doors stayed closed when your heart was open. You have given love, patience, and forgiveness without always seeing the same in return. But this moment, this unexpected exchange, was heaven's way of showing you that things are beginning to shift. Someone's heart is opening. A truth is surfacing. The words that were spoken after seeing your image were not casual. They were spiritual keys unlocking new paths. In the higher realms, such words are heard in sacred courts, places where destiny, reconciliation, and divine restoration are decided. This was not merely a comment made in passing. It was a declaration made in divine presence. That father's voice carried the energy of recognition and approval. His soul became an instrument of heaven, speaking what needed to be spoken so that healing could begin. He became the bridge between the masculine and the spiritual. For too long, emotional truth had been suppressed, feelings unspoken, and hearts guarded. But in that instant, divine masculine energy softened. The wall began to crumble, and that shift Dear child, has opened the way for love and honesty to move freely again. The angels want you to know that this moment validated more than your beauty. It validated your essence, your strength, your dignity, your quiet light that needs no applause to be seen. That father's reaction was not an accident. It was a mirror held up to remind others of who you truly are. It was heaven saying, "This one carries light." You were not begging to be noticed. You were simply being yourself. And now, finally, that truth has been seen, acknowledged, and spoken aloud. This single moment has shifted spiritual timelines. It changed what was possible. What once seemed blocked is now being restructured. The divine flow has begun again, clearing pathways that were stuck by silence. The angels are realigning energies for your highest good, and as they do, they remind you, breathe, breathe, and receive. You do not have to chase or force anything. You have already called this moment forth by walking in truth, integrity, and grace. Your patience has not been in vain. Every silent prayer, every act of kindness, every tear shed in faith has been recorded in the higher realms. And now, heaven is responding. You may notice new doors opening, unexpected messages, sudden clarity, or people treating you differently. These are signs that the unseen has shifted. If you have felt invisible, that season is over. The divine has placed you in the light. You are entering a new era where truth cannot be hidden, and where what belongs to you will recognize you. Even those who once overlooked your worth will begin to see it clearly. The angels say this is your season of recognition, not from ego, but from alignment. The Father who spoke those words did not realize that heaven was speaking through him. He may have simply voiced what others were afraid to say, but in doing so, he became a messenger. His sincerity pierced through the silence that once surrounded your story. It was as though heaven whispered, "Speak now, for your words will open hearts." And that is exactly what happened. His words have echoed ever since. They reached the ears and the heart of someone who once kept their emotions hidden. The vibration of truth began to stir within them, awakening memories, regrets, and longing that had been buried beneath pride or confusion. They are now thinking, reflecting, remembering. Dear child, you may not see it yet, but something is unraveling beautifully in the unseen. Heaven has used this moment to create balance. For so long, your kindness, love, and loyalty have been poured out without measure. You have given and not always received. You have stood firm in love, even when others faltered. But now, the divine scales are shifting in your favor. You are entering a sacred time of reciprocity, where the energy, care, and affection you have given will begin to return. You will no longer be the only one reaching out or holding space. The love that once seemed one-sided will now find balance. This is divine justice at work. It's not punishment for others. It's restoration for you. Heaven wants you to know that you did not have to prove yourself. Your light has already spoken. The Father's words simply made others see what heaven already knew, that you are rare, genuine, and chosen for a higher purpose. The angels are smiling gently, reminding you that the power of truth never fades. When spoken with sincerity, it carries through realms and touches the souls it was meant to reach. This Father's words have already begun healing hearts. They have softened someone's resistance and opened a space for honesty, a space where old fears can dissolve and authentic love can emerge. This was not only about you being seen, it was about hearts being healed. Do not be surprised if someone begins to look at you differently, or if new conversations begin to flow. Do not be alarmed if someone who once stayed silent starts showing emotion. These are signs that the energy is moving, that truth is making its way to the surface. And when that truth arrives, when someone finally speaks or reaches out, meet it with grace. Not pride, not resistance, but calm acceptance. Because this is not about revenge or proving a point. It is about divine healing. You were never meant to win through struggle. You were meant to rise through grace. The angels say that this father's unguarded words were heaven's way of opening a sealed door. He may not understand the full meaning of what he said, but his spirit recognized something real. His reaction gave permission for others to feel what they've been denying. He unlocked the truth without even realizing it. From that moment, a new spiritual current began to flow. You may feel it as peace, as confirmation, or even as a quiet knowing that something sacred has begun. Heaven calls this the ripple of recognition. It starts small, with a glance, a sentence, a photograph, but it expands until every heart that needs to awaken finally does. This ripple has already reached the one whose silence once confused you. Their soul is being stirred. Their heart is remembering what it tried to forget. The truth they ran from is now gently calling them back, not to repeat the past, but to heal it. Dear one, you have been the silent prayer someone's soul has been answering in confusion. You have been the mirror reflecting what others needed to see about love, loyalty, and divine connection. Heaven used this moment to confirm your place in the story, not as an afterthought, but as a sacred turning point. The angels remind you that love guided by heaven is never rushed. Let it unfold. Trust the divine process. What is meant for you cannot be taken, delayed, or denied. It may have been hidden for a while, but not lost. And now, the truth is beginning to surface. You are not invisible. You are divinely seen. You are not forgotten. You are remembered in heaven's plan. That Father's words were a signpost, proof that heaven is moving pieces in your favor. The angels ask you to stand in stillness and faith. Don't try to chase what is already finding its way to you. Don't question your worth. You have already been spoken for in the higher realms. You have already been claimed by the light. This is your season of divine acknowledgement. Something sacred has been set in motion. A cycle of recognition, balance, and restored love. It will unfold naturally, at the pace of divine timing. And as it does, the angels surround you with calm assurance. You are safe. You are loved. You are seen. When love finally reaches you, it will not come dressed in confusion or fear. It will arrive in honesty, devotion, and peace. It will see your soul before it sees your face. It will honor you, not just admire you. It will protect you, not hide you. So, dear one, breathe deeply. Let your heart whisper, I received this truth. For you are stepping into the phase of your life where you no longer have to be misunderstood. Your story is shifting from waiting to witnessing, from hoping to receiving, from silence to sacred recognition. This was heaven's message through a father's voice, a reminder that divine truth always finds its way into the open, no matter how long it has been hidden. What happened behind closed doors was not an ending. It was the beginning of a revelation. You have been seen by eyes that carry both authority and compassion. You have been acknowledged by heaven through human lips. And that, dear child, marks a turning point in your destiny. You are the answered prayer. You are the living proof that divine timing never fails. And now, as heaven leans closer and the angels whisper blessings over you, know this with your whole heart. You are stepping into the light of being fully recognized, not just by others, but by the universe itself. My dear child, the angels are very close to you again. Their presence surrounds you gently, like the soft touch of feathers brushing against your heart. They are here to help you understand what recently happened, not just on the surface, but in its deeper spiritual meaning. This moment was not ordinary. It was divinely guided. When her father saw your photo, something ancient and sacred stirred inside him. What he felt and what he said were not random or casual words. They were spiritual signals, messages spoken through him by heaven itself. His reaction came from a truth that his soul instantly recognized. It was the truth of harmony, connection, and love that exists beyond time and human understanding. He did not simply notice physical beauty. He saw something deeper. He saw truth, kindness, and peace reflected through you. That moment was far more than an innocent comment. It was a divine awakening. The angels revealed that his soul recognized what perhaps even his daughter has been trying to hide. The bond that once connected you both. The love that still lingers quietly between two hearts, even when words have been absent. His voice became a vessel of divine recognition. What he saw in you, what his heart responded to, was not just attraction but compatibility, a sense that your energy carried safety, honesty, and loyalty. Even though he may not have fully understood why he felt that way, heaven knew. His words were meant to open a gate that had been closed for too long. Dear one, heaven wants you to understand that you did not imagine your bond with her. It was not something fleeting or one-sided. The love you shared was real and sacred, and it left an imprint so pure that even those who have never spoken to you can feel it. Her father's soul recognized the truth of who you are, the kind of soul who gives without expectation, who loves from a pure heart, who brings calm where others bring confusion. The moment he looked at your photo, heaven used his words as confirmation, as a signal to awaken something buried deep within his daughter's heart. The angels say this: when a heart outside the connection recognizes something sacred, it sends ripples through the spiritual world. His simple words carried a spiritual weight that broke the stillness surrounding your name. They became a spark of truth, reopening her heart to feelings she had tried to ignore. It was heaven's way of bringing back motion to a love that had been paused by fear, silence, and misunderstanding. You may not know this, but his comment has stayed with her. She heard his tone. She felt the shift in his energy, and something inside her began to question everything again. She began to wonder why he reacted that way, why your name still feels alive, and why her heart still moves when reminded of you. In that small, spontaneous moment, the universe used her father as a divine messenger to remind her of what was once sacred, to show her that the truth cannot be buried forever. Beloved, the angels remind you that love like yours never disappears. It may rest, it may go quiet for a time, but it never dies. What you gave was not just emotion, it was spiritual nourishment. You entered her life as a divine appointment, not a coincidence. Even if others tried to minimize it or pull her away, heaven always kept the memory of your light alive. Now, through her father's eyes, that light has been seen again. He saw you not as a stranger, but as someone meant for legacy, as someone trustworthy, stable, and capable of nurturing a life of peace. In that unplanned moment, he became heaven's instrument. His words may have surprised everyone, even himself. But what truly happened was that his spirit recognized something timeless. He saw in you what every father hopes for his daughter, a person who could love deeply, protect gently, and build with devotion. He saw truth radiating from your eyes. The angels whisper that his spontaneous reaction carried the vibration of blessing. When a voice of wisdom or protection speaks with genuine recognition, heaven listens. His words were not opinion. They were prophecy. They were the release of a truth waiting to be spoken aloud. And because of that, the energy surrounding you and her has now changed. It has begun to move again. She may not have said anything yet. She may not have sent a message or shown any sign, but the silence is no longer the same. The angels reveal that she is hearing your name again in new light, through her father's words, through her own memories, through gentle reminders that seem to appear from nowhere. She feels something she cannot explain, and heaven is using these moments to guide her heart back toward what was once pure. Do not worry about time. Heaven never rushes sacred things. The angels are showing you that love does not need to be forced. When something is divine, it unfolds in its own season. Right now, heaven is nurturing the seed that was planted by that one moment when her father saw you and recognized your spirit. This awakening has begun a quiet transformation in her. The angels say she is remembering you, not through pain or nostalgia, but through realization. She is starting to understand why she could never truly forget you. She is recognizing that what you shared was not ordinary. It was a meeting of two souls meant to teach love, patience, and faith. Her father's words became a bridge between heaven and her heart. They broke through walls she built around your name. What he said echoed the truth her spirit already knew, but her mind tried to deny. And because of that, the energy between you two has shifted from silence to awakening. The angels bring you comfort. Dear one, they say that you were never forgotten. Heaven has been watching over you, waiting for the right moment to reintroduce your name into her world. And now, that time has come, not through gossip or curiosity, but through sacred acknowledgement. When our Father spoke, heaven moved. It was a divine signal that the love once paused is still alive. Even though you may not see the results yet, much is happening behind the scenes. Her spirit is stirring. She may act calm, but within her, questions are forming. She is asking herself why her father reacted that way, why your name still feels sacred, and why, after all this time, your presence lingers in her thoughts. The angels say that the Page of Swords energy surrounds this moment. It speaks of curiosity, sudden insight, and clarity that cuts through confusion. Her mind is awakening to a deeper understanding of you. She wants to know more, to re-examine what she once dismissed, to face the truth she ran from. Her father's honest words became the mirror that made her look at her heart again. You see, dear child, when heaven wants to reach someone, it does not always use miracles or visions. Sometimes it uses the ordinary, like a photo, a passing remark, or a sigh, and turns it into something extraordinary. That is what has happened now. Her father's words carried the energy of the Eight of Cups. This card is about walking away, only to realize what was left behind still holds meaning. She thought she had moved on, that leaving you would bring peace. But now she is realizing that peace without truth is emptiness. Heaven is gently guiding her to face what she abandoned. Not only you, but the part of herself that felt alive when she was with you. The angels want you to rest in this understanding. Love never leaves. It only transforms. Even when she walked away, she carried you in her soul. She may have buried those feelings, but they were never gone. And now, after hearing her father's reaction, the walls she built are beginning to soften. She cannot unhear the truth that was spoken. She cannot unsee the light in your eyes that even her father noticed. Do not chase after her. Beloved, do not reach in desperation. This is not the time for pursuit, but for peace. The angels ask you to stay steady, to focus on your own healing, and to prepare your heart for divine timing. What is meant for you will find its way back, refined and renewed. The journey is unfolding as it should. She is now being guided by heaven to face her inner truth. It is not easy for her. She must confront her fears, her regrets, and the realization that what she left behind was real. But heaven will walk her through it, gently but surely. And as she grows in awareness, you will feel a soft change in the energy around you. Dreams becoming lighter, your heart feeling warmer, signs appearing that confirm movement. Her father's words have done something sacred. They have reawakened memory, emotion, and divine recognition. He may not understand it, but heaven used his honesty as a divine instrument. His heart recognized something ancient in yours, a goodness that blesses not only one person, but an entire family line. That recognition carries the power of blessing, and blessings shift destinies. Now, she sees you differently. She is seeing through her father's clarity, not through the confusion of her past. She sees the possibility of home, safety, and a love that endures. She may not reach out yet, but she is remembering, and heaven is orchestrating every step, aligning hearts and timing for when it will be safe and right to reconnect. You, dear one, are asked to remain faithful, not in waiting for her specifically, but in trusting that everything meant for you is making its way toward you. Heaven is proud of your patience, of the way you have continued to love without bitterness, of the grace you have shown in silence. Every tear you cried was not wasted. Every prayer you whispered was heard. And now, the answer is unfolding. You were never invisible. You were hidden until the divine moment when your light would be seen again. And now, that time has come. When her father looked at your photo and spoke from his soul, heaven smiled. The energy around your name has changed forever. The silence that once surrounded you has turned into sacred movement. The angels say this is the beginning of reconciliation, not just between two people, but between souls who once shared a divine purpose. This is the start of a healing that will reach beyond emotions into legacy, destiny, and divine alignment. Be still now. Trust that what was spoken cannot be undone. The seed of remembrance has been planted. Heaven is nurturing it in ways unseen, and soon the fruit of that seed will appear in divine timing. You do not need to do anything but stay open and believe. The angels want you to know that heaven remembers you perfectly. When humans forget, heaven does not. When people close doors, heaven opens new ones. The truth spoken through her father's mouth has been written in the spiritual realm as a turning point. From this moment, healing has begun to flow toward you both. You may feel warmth in your spirit, new peace in your heart, or signs in your dreams. These are confirmations that the divine is moving on your behalf. The story is not finished. The ending is being rewritten with grace. So, dear child, lift your head high. You are not waiting for validation from anyone. You are already seen, already chosen, already loved by heaven. The angels remind you that your worth does not depend on being remembered by a person. It is secured in divine love. Yet heaven also knows that part of your prayer has been to be understood, to be recognized, to be loved with truth. And heaven has begun to answer that prayer. The recognition came, not through effort, but through grace. Walk forward now, not with longing, but with faith. Know that what is yours by divine design cannot be taken away. The winds are shifting in your favor, and the silence that once felt endless has broken. What heaven sets in motion, no earthly force can stop. You are being reintroduced into her world through truth, through light, through divine timing. The angels stand beside you smiling, for they see how this moment will bloom into something greater than you can imagine. Heaven has remembered your name, dear one, and this time it has spoken it through a voice that carries weight. A father, a guardian, a protector. That voice has reached the heart that once turned away, and now that heart is listening again. The story is far from over. This is only the beginning of the chapter heaven has been waiting to write. Walk in peace. Trust the divine. You are not forgotten. You are seen by heaven.